Hey there, I'm Zack Attack, and if you've ever been caught in your best tuxedo, folks have probably said that you're as well dressed as a penguin. But let's be honest, a penguin will always be better dressed than you. Penguins are one of those universal animals that it seems everywhere, everyone loves them. Their undeniable cuteness has led to them going everywhere from your favorite desktop background, Batman's greatest foe, their own highly addictive MMO video game, and not to mention a really good hockey team, but still go Lightning. But even with all their coverage and public recognition, there's a lot of misconceptions about penguins. First off, not all penguins mate for life. They've been known to do this in zoological facilities and probably sometimes do it in the wild. But imagine looking out at a rookery of penguins and seeing hundreds of them that look identical. Without the ability to tag and track the same mating couple, it'd be really hard to figure out which penguin couples are the same from the previous year. When I worked with penguins, a lot of people would ask me if they were mammals. They are not mammals. They're actually several different kinds of flightless bird. This is probably caused by people seeing bubbles coming out of a penguin's back as they swim, and they wonder if they have a blowhole. They don't. It's just air escaping from in between their feathers. And a penguin can have up to 70 to 100 feathers per square inch to help insulate them and keep them warm in the chilly water. Now, I'm not suggesting this because penguins poop like every 10 minutes and they can fire their feces up to 5 feet behind them. But in the US, you can legally be certified to own a penguin. For real, Jessica Alba owns one. Not all penguins lay their eggs on their feet. Only 2 species, the emperor and king penguins, do that. Most other species build nests for their mate with whatever material is available nearby. In some climates, they use rocks. Others use grasses or twigs. One species, the yellow-eyed penguin, sometimes builds their nest under trees. Penguins come in a lot of different varieties. There are actually 20 different kinds, the largest being the emperor penguin, who you probably know best from March of the Penguins. They get about 4 feet tall and weigh anywhere between 50 to 100 pounds, and they live in Antarctica. Only one other species of penguin calls Antarctica home. That's the Adelie penguin. But where do all the other species live? Well, king penguins live on the subantarctic along with the chinstrap gentoo, macaroni royal, eastern rockhopper, and erect-crested penguins. African penguins are in, you guessed it, Africa. South America has the Magellanic and Humboldt penguins, with the Galapagos penguin living just offshore on its namesake islands. The white-flippered and blue penguins, which are the smallest species, live on southern Australia. But blue penguins think that New Zealand is cool too, so they also live there along with the yellow-eyed snares and Fordland-crested penguins. Over on the Falkland Islands are most of the world's southern rockhoppers, whose cousins, the northern rockhoppers, don't play by the other penguins' rules and live right smack dab in the middle of the Atlantic on 2 islands. And with all these penguins all over the southern hemisphere, you've got to wonder, why are there no penguins in the Arctic? There are puffins and razorbills, which aesthetically look really similar to penguins, albeit smaller, and they can fly. But if you were to go back in time, only 200 years ago, you'd find penguin-like creatures all over the North Atlantic. These birds were called the greater auk. Penguins are an example of an evolutionary phenomenon called convergent evolution, where 2 different species evolved similar traits in similar environments from across the world. The great auks not only looked similar to penguins, but they were also flightless and waddled from place to place. It's estimated that great auks used to live in the millions, and they've been used as a food source for humans since the dawn of mankind, as evidenced by their cleaned bones being found at campsites of primitive humans and Neanderthals. In addition to food, their eggs and feathers were used in all sorts of food and crafts. That is, until we ate them all in the 1800s. The great auk is also responsible for the naming of the modern penguin, with its scientific name being penguinus, derived from the Latin word impennus, which translates to flightless. I bring up what happened to the great auk because today their southern counterpart, the penguin, is in danger. 11 of the 20 species of penguin are listed as endangered or vulnerable. Not only pollution affects penguins, but also the kinds of fish you buy at the market. Some fisheries around the Southern Ocean outcompete penguins for their natural fish or krill prey. You can actually help penguins avoid the same fate as the great auk by making ocean-friendly fish choices. And what a chill way to help these cool birds out. With all this penguin knowledge, you must be a Know Atoll.